Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast. This episode is going to be with the boys, at least a couple of them. We got Thor Nichols and Christian Pruitt, who have been really, really good buddies of mine for the past 3-4 years. And, you know, we are going to recap our seasons. Deer season over here in Georgia is basically over unless you're in an extended archery county. I'm actually texting my buddy Hunter right now. We're making some plans to go after either some does or a late season buck in an extended archery county next week. So the day of this episode dropping, I may have been hunting the day before it and maybe killed a buck or a doe or something. This season has been it's been a crazy learning season. Lots of changes, lots of opportunities that I could have taken and didn't, just me being picky, man. So we'll get into it on the episode. But before we do that, obviously we got to do the partners. So I'm going to run through these pretty quickly. Working Class Bow Hunter. If you want to get some Working Class Bow Hunter merchandise, so t-shirts, hats, beanies, whatever, beer koozies, they got all of it, stickers, all that stuff, man. Check out workingclassbowhunter.com and look at all this stuff they have to offer. Once you pick out what you want at checkout, use the code SEBHP. If you forget that code on the YouTube version of this, and probably starting from here on out, I'm going to start putting all the partners codes in the description and also the podcast description. So be on the lookout for that. But definitely use that code to save a little bit of money. Next up is going to be the Bowtique. I'm thinking about potentially sending up some arrows to Michael again to get built. I really like what he does with his wraps, and he's literally getting better every single day, dude. It's crazy. I just signed on with Boning, so now the Bowtique is partnered up with Boning Archery. So I do believe that unless you ask, you're probably going to get offered some Boning vanes, which I think Boning is awesome. They've been around for decades, so definitely a company to trust. But when you go to the Bowtique and get your arrows built, or you just pick out some wraps because you build your own, use the code SEBHP, and that'll get you free shipping on both custom and already made orders. Next up is going to be Osseo Gear. Osseo Gear is my camo brand of choice. I firmly believe that they are at the top of the list when it comes to the best companies out there. Honestly, people have asked me before, what camo do you like? And I always give them the big three for me is Osseo, Realtree, Mossy Oak. Those three are the ones that I have always really liked, and Osseo has always stood out to me because of the pattern. Getting to know Joe really well, being able to call him a friend and reach out to him just to check on how he's doing, how the family's doing, and also get some hunting tips from him has been extremely helpful this year, which, again, we will get into in this episode. But go to OsseoGear.com and look at all their late season stuff. Look at all the stuff that's coming for the summertime if you want to rep their stuff in the off season, and then definitely look at their early season stuff. I use the early season jacket and pants, and I'm telling you right now, it's the best stuff I've ever used. So go to OsseoGear.com. Use the code SEBH, and that'll save you 15% site-wide. Next up is going to be Summit Tree Stand. So my climber worked flawlessly this year. It hurt a lot because I sometimes leave my climbers in places that I hunt, I guess not periodically, but more often than not. And pulling my Summit out the other day was heartbreaking. I did find a shed, so that kind of helped. One of the bucks that I've had on camera for a while shed right next to the tree that my camera was on, so that was really cool. Little gift from God there, saying don't give up, I guess. But my Summit stand worked awesome. I've been using the Dual Threat Pro SD. They just came out with a bunch of different new accessories. One of the ones that I'm interested in for sure is definitely the retractable gear hoist. That might be something that I actually end up getting because I do have some gear that I bring into the tree with me, and it's definitely gonna be helpful to have something that's always connected to me. That way I'm not like, well, where is my stuff? But Summit offers everything you need, from tree stands, both climbers and hang-ons and sticks, to accessories, to backpacks, to harnesses, to all of that stuff, man. So definitely go to summitstands.com. You guys have been killing the code for the past 2 years. Keep it up. The code is SEBH15 to save 15% site-wide. Scout Tech. Look, Scout Tech is my cell camera brand of choice. Working flawlessly, amazing quality photos. Really excited for the new camera to come out. I actually need to text Ryan and figure out what's going on with that because I haven't heard anything, and I am chomping at the bit to start using new cameras. Planning on getting a lot of new spots this year. Going to be doing some door knocking, working with some buddies of mine in my county, some extra counties that they already have spots in to sort of expand our range and really just try to have options. And Scout Tech helps me be able to get inventory on these deer. I run cameras year long, wide, all year long, I guess. And dude, I love them. Great quality, great product. Go check them out, scouttech.com. Next up is going to be Ace Hardware and Social Circle. Shout out to my boy Hunter, Hunter, Mark, and Big John. Those dudes know what they're doing. Great guys. They sell everything you need. Okay, they do. You can tune your bow, get broadheads, get a sight, get a release, get a new bow from them. They carry all the major brands. So definitely go to Social Circle to check them out. Help support them. Bergie Bowsmith. Bergie and I were supposed to do a podcast this week, and something came up. And he just started his own podcast. He's going to kill me. I don't know the name of it, but he is going to be doing deep dives into, I guess, archery topics and probably hunting topics too. And we were going to go on there and talk about arrows and talk about all this stuff. We are still going to do this, but it's not going to happen until February. So be on the lookout for that. But Bergie is a master bow wizard. I am planning on sending my bow back there, the Bear Whitetail Max, out to him in probably a few weeks to get tuned and restrung. With unbound archery strings. And Bergie's just a good dude, man. He definitely puts in the effort to make sure that everybody's happy, whoever sends him his or their bows for him to tune. And he also now is a dealer for a lot of major brands. I was looking on his website the other day, and I'm probably going to be buying some stuff. So if you're like me and you're going to be buying stuff and get his bow or get your bow tuned by him, use the code SEBH10, and that saves you 10% site-wide. That's if you send your bow to him to get tuned with new strings and all this other stuff. You save 10% with that code. If you go on there and you just buy some of the stuff he's a dealer for, like new broadheads or arrows or whatever, use that code, it saves you 10%. If you do both of those things, it'll save you 10%. So that code is extremely valuable in my opinion. Very thankful to be partnered with Bergie for 2025, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Next up is going to be VPA. VPA is an American-made broadhead that they have over 70 different items to choose from, 70 different broadheads to choose from. All of them have a lifetime warranty. That means if you shoot a deer and it goes sailing a mile away and somehow you find it and that blade is chipped and totally useless, send it to them, send them a photo. They will send you a new broadhead, sometimes even a new pack. So VPA definitely stands by their product. And they have worked pretty good for me. I mean, I've had a couple of things that, fixed blades don't leave great blood trails. And if you make a marginal shot, sometimes you don't recover them. That just happens. We're going to talk about that in this episode. But I trust VPA, and I think you guys will too. Next up is going to be Dialed Archery. I reached out to Scott. I want to get Scott on the podcast soon, probably sometime in February, to talk about the new Proof and what's happening with the Arxos. I love my Arxos. It's the best sight I've ever used. So if you guys are in the market, I highly recommend you get a Proof because it's the Arxos, but improved, which I never thought was possible. Great product, great people. Go to Dialed Archery, check out the Proof, see how you can customize it. There's small batch stuff coming. I know the working class guys are working on that. It's gonna be an exciting year for Dialed, man. I'm really, really stoked to see what happens with them. So keep up with that. I know I'm going to, and I will bring anything to you guys that I am told. Next up is gonna be Camo Dust. I have trusted Camo Dust all season, and it has worked flawlessly. Chris came on, we talked about it. I love that product. And if you trust Camo Dust, and or even if you're not, maybe say you don't trust it, maybe you never used it. Say you want to try it. Go to camodust.com and get the 6-pack. I know it's more expensive, but once you see what it actually does, if you do it right, you are going to use it and you are going to need those 6 cans, and it will get you through the entire season, and you will be hidden from these deer as best as I think you can be. So definitely go check them out. Man, look, that's everything for the partners. I'm really bummed out the deer season's over, but getting possibly one more sit would be nice. I only killed one deer this year. So again, we are going to talk about that in this episode. And then we're actually going to talk about some duck hunting, which I've never done. I'm not even really that interested in duck hunting, but Christian and Thor love it. And I want to see why they are so passionate about it. So we are going to touch on that. I'm working on dates for the 3rd annual Southeastern Bowhunter Shoot. Y'all need to tell me, okay? Everyone that listens to this, if you want to come to that shoot, reach out to me, send me a message, tell me what you think. Should we do this in spring, middle of summer when it's blistering hot, which I don't really want to do, or should we do it like a month or so before deer season because we are getting ready for deer season? Personally, I think doing it a month or so before deer season is better, but we've done both ends, And I just want to hear from you guys. So reach out to me, send me a message. I don't care what time of the day it is. I don't care how busy I am. Eventually, I will get back to you because I want to make sure that you guys have a great experience and that our partners are well represented when we do this. So that's everything business-wise. But the most important business is, if you don't know Jesus, look, I say this every episode. It kind of has become sort of not a ritual thing, but like just a every episode kind of thing. If it becomes redundant to you, I'm sorry, but look, Jesus is the man. Okay, without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Thor wouldn't be where he's at. Thor is definitely putting his faith in him right now, and there's been a lot of stuff going on. I don't think we're going to get into it, but just be praying for him. I know Christian's the same way. The three of us always have conversations about our faith, and it brings you together. And then at the end of the day, you know that you've got literally the creator of the universe who gave us life in your corner. I mean, you put your faith in him and amazing things will happen. So just give it a shot. That's all I can say. If it ain't for you, maybe later on in life it will be. But one day we are all going to meet the creator of everything. And when Jesus is standing there, I want him to be pleased with what I've done. And I want him to also be pleased with what you've done. If you've gotten to know him, bringing people to him is, in my opinion, why we're here, right? Like hunting's awesome, family's awesome, but really getting people to get to know who Jesus is, because when I'll tell you what, man, if you're on the other side and you don't know who he is, and in the sense of you're playing for the other team that goes against what Jesus teaches, look, man, I'm not the fire and brimstone type, but I'm praying for you. That's all I can say. So sorry if that sounded a little bit, pushy. I don't want to do that, but it's getting to know him is so amazing, and having him in your corner, even when I struggle, right? We all sin, right? You can give your life to him. You're still going to sin. It's going to happen. But in the eyes of the Father, all of that is forgotten. And knowing that, obviously don't take advantage of that. A lot of people do. And, that's going to get handled however it's going to get handled. But knowing that I've got that thing, or knowing that I've got him there with me in all struggles, is just so comforting. Okay, I'm getting a little preachy. So I'm going to end it here. Let's get into the season recap with Thor and Christian. All right, guys. So normally it's all, prim and proper, but if you could see the video, which you probably will, we're all fucking giggling right now. And it's always a good time when the boys get together. We got Mr. Thor Nichols and Christian Pruitt. Man.
Bienvenido.
So, yeah, bienvenido de ese país. Oh man,
It's the Southeastern Bowhunter Podcast.
Yeah. I still wish you could record that, man. If I could start every episode that way.
It's me, your co-host.
We got Mr. Thor and Mr. Christian. Oh, I'm gonna get canceled for that. Anyway. Oh God. So we're doing a season recap. Christian, out of the three of us, is the only one that killed a buck, I think. Right?
Shut up.
Hey, dude, Thor, you killed more deer than me. Okay, I shot 3 and recovered 1. Those odds are terrible. So
shot 2, recovered 2, but that's what happens when you, I guess, get past bow season and put the bow down.
It's okay.
But
I get it.
Hey, I picked the bow back up tonight for extended season. So I mean,
yeah, that's true. Well, all right. So Thor, we're gonna save the buck stories and the juiciness and all that for Christian, because I want to hear. I do have to say this. I remember when Christian called me when that happened. He FaceTimed me, and I don't think I've ever seen him so happy. Because I
cried.
I about cried. I mean, that was like,
I cried when I didn't kill a buck.
I've cried just driving home from work sometimes, but we're not going to get into that.
But this got dark.
Yeah, a little bit. But all right, Thor. So what happened with your season, man? You started off strong. You had some good bucks, and
dude,
what?
It was So I don't know if any of you listened to my past episodes and I think it was like before season episode we did. Life has been just throwing some obstacles, and I got in this new club this year, which was in Hancock County, and that's like a 2-hour poke from my house. So the original idea was hunting this place like go on the weekends and camp and hunt all weekend. And I only got to camp like once and actually hunt like the whole weekend. And I only hunted there 4 or 5 times the whole year.
So depressing.
Yeah, it was super, I don't know, super weird year. Had freaking good bucks on camera. Uh, archery hunted. No, I never even archery hunted there this year. I had the bow in the truck a couple times, but when I went back down there, it was already a rifle season here in Georgia. It was actually muzzleloader season. I went down on a Friday. It was muzzleloader that Friday, and then archery, good night. Rifle started Saturday morning. So I went in that evening and muzzleloader hunted. My camera was blinging off the hook, and I had a good, really solid 8-pointer out in the field. I snuck in on the field, and when I went, oh, hey baby, y'all can hear my little one in the background. I
Oh
have,
boy, she's making an appearance.
yeah, apparently. Take her in there. Bye. Say bye. That's fine. So that's my youngest one. She is very talkative.
She's gonna be a better
Very
killer than
nosy.
any of us, man.
She's probably going to.
Dude, all the stuff you told me, like
She loves the duck hunt. She loves duck hunting. She watches it with me. She watches deer hunting. If she sees
blows
deer,
cold.
yeah, she blows duck calls. If she sees if we're watching anything that's got a deer, like reindeer, even like this past Christmas, watching Christmas movies and stuff with a reindeer, she's like, oh, that. I'm like, yeah, is that a deer? She's like, buck.
I love it,
She
dude.
calls everything a buck, but
That's so funny.
yeah. So that kid's gonna be a freaking killer. I love it. But yeah, so went in with the muzzleloader, snuck. I parked my truck. I didn't even get to my four wheeler. I parked the truck off of one of the roads there, snuck down to the food plot, and I mean, I was probably 60 yards from this buck when he walked out of the opening, and I was standing on the four wheeler road, the ATV road leading to the food plot. I threw up on him and shot. I was shaking like a freaking leaf, and he tore out of there, and the rest of the deer didn't. They just they the rest of the deer just stood there like looking around, and I reloaded the muzzle loader, and I texted a couple of people. I was like, I just shot a deer. I think. I mean, I'd never killed a deer with a muzzle loader, so I was like, I hope I hit him. Like I put it behind his shoulder. I mean, I was 60 yards away, and fast forward, like the deer finally clear the field. I go back into my truck. I wait on one of the other guys in the club to get there. We go down and look for blood. Nothing. I look for hair. Nothing. Look on the cameras. Don't see anything like out of the ordinary. Um, so kind of really disheartening. Hunted the next morning with my rifle. Saw some small bucks, couple does skirted around. Nothing big. About a week or two goes by, and that buck that I'd shot at with the muzzleloader shows back up on camera. No hole in him or nothing. So I don't know what I did, but I messed him clean. And if that started off the year pretty harshly. Fast forward, I don't know, what it was late October.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 weeks. It was about 3 weeks after that happened that you finally got one.
Yeah, I had it was a random day, and I had a buck that I'd been wanting to shoot. And a lot of people are gonna be, oh, he's a 3.5-year-old deer. He was definitely a 3.5-year-old deer, but he's a solid deer. I mean, I was really gunning to shoot 4 or 5-year-old deer this year, but he just kept showing up, and he daylighted the day before. And I told my fiance, I said, hey, I'm going in the morning. And it was like a Thursday or something. I said, I'm going in the morning to shoot this deer. Like, it's supposed to be a cold front coming through. I've got to try. And it's the middle of the week. I said, I'm going to go down hunt in the morning and come home, which a 2 hour ride down, hunting, a 2 hour ride back. I mean, it's tough. And my oldest daughter, Cass, looked at me and she said, "Can I go?" I said, "Well, that's up to your mama. You ain't missing no school, you know. I don't, I don't care, but I'm all for hunting, you know." She'd been getting A's and B's and stuff, so we was like, "Yeah, that's fine." That's before she got sick and everything and missed a bunch of school. But so me and her tear off, go down there that morning, and um, I had a really, really solid morning. Saw a lot of deer. We counted over 12 or 13 deer that morning, I think, and there was three of them were bucks, but no shooters. One was one I told her she could shoot if she wanted to, but she didn't want to or something. She was just like, no, but she kept asking me. She was like, "Can we shoot one of these does?" Because there were so many. I had like 10. There was 13 deer and 10 of them were does. So, and we saw 3 bucks. There was a spike, a 8-pointer, and then I think a 4-pointer. I'm like, let's give it some time. Let's give it some time. So I'm waiting on this big framed 8-pointer to come out that I was wanting to shoot. He had a kicker off his G2. His G2s are probably 10 inches long. I mean, he was a great looking buck. And he just never walked out. And so fast forward, we go do some stuff around the club, get out of the blind, the deer walk off, deer clear out, see a movement from the morning. We go back to camp. I build a tower stand and get some other stuff done. And I asked her, I said, "Would you want to go home or do you want to hunt in the evening?" She's like, "Well, we can go hunting if you want." So we go get right back in the same blind. And about 30 minutes before dark, out steps a big old honking doe. And I looked at her, I said, "You want me to fold her up?" She said, "Shoot her." I said, I pulled 300 windbag out the window and I let her rip and I folded that deer up. I mean, clean heart shot, right behind the shoulder. Really, what all you could want out of a rifle kill. And I mean, I was shaking. I was excited. Any deer I take, bow or gun, I just always get excited. And I had her with me, so it was even more memorable for her. And that's the first time she's ever got to be part of shooting a deer or anything like that. So she was super amped, and we were just both very excited. So I went down and immediately looked for blood, and we had blood right off the rip, about 10 yards past where she tore off through the woods. And we started looking, and she was shooting blood out of her side because, it's past her with a rifle. And I guess where the blood had squirted on like the ground, I thought she had turned and went to the right, and I could just not find any blood. I'm like, "Where's the blood? Where's the blood?" What I was looking at was like excess that had squirted onto a tree. And I went back to the original spot because that was another thing. It was a learning process for her because I was like, "Look, like when you're tracking a deer, we go back to the original spot. If you can't find blood, you always go back to your main blood or even the original spot you shot it and start over if you have to. Or you do a bunch of grid searching and all this and that. We went back to it, and I just noticed to the left of where I was looking, it looked like a freaking highway. It opened up. I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Well, yeah, we were going the wrong way." So and I looked, I mean, it could have been, it's probably 40 yards that doe was piled up. It's the biggest doe I've ever shot. So we got some good pictures together and loaded her up, headed back to camp. I got her thrown in the truck, and we went and dropped her off at a processor down there. But
and then you had me yelling in your ear because I was so happy for you.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. She was excited. I was excited. It was a super late night for both of us because by the time we got back home, shoot, that 2 hour ride and everything after, because I stopped and got her something to eat and all that. It was a good 9:45 or so before we got home. So she got home, got a shower, and went straight to bed.
Yeah.
But she talked about that deer for 2 or 3 weeks, and it wasn't even, she didn't even shoot it. So that deer right there probably meant more to me than any deer I've ever shot so far. And excuse me. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm because I've been duck hunting in some of the crappiest weather that we've had. It has been kicking my butt. So
Well, you guys definitely like crappy weather when it comes to ducks, which we'll touch on that because it looks like next Tuesday and Wednesday we're going to be getting more of it. So
yeah, it looks like it's about to pile in. I don't know.
mhm.
PTO boys, prepare the others.
Because I ain't coming. That's right. But yeah, so got that doe. Fast forward a little time, I got drawn for a quota hunt on a state park hunt this year. That was a rifle hunt also. Went in and scouted the day before the hunt, or 2 days before the hunt, and I saw a freaking giant buck. I mean, 130-inch buck. He was giant to me. Super solid buck. I went in and scouted that day, and I saw, shoot, I don't remember what I told you, but I want to say what I saw 9, 10 deer that day.
Yeah, you saw a lot. I remember you calling me and telling me about it, and
it was amazing. Like there was deer everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, this should be kind of walk in the park. I mean, no pun intended, but this should be good. This should be good. And went to the pre-hunt meeting the day before the hunt, and that morning of the first day, because it was only 2 days, and I only got to hunt the one day, it started raining that morning.
Mhm.
And I'm talking downpour. And it rained and it rained and it rained. And it didn't stop raining until probably 3 or 4 o'clock. Well, about 2 o'clock it let up. I sat in it until 10 or 11 and finally got fed up. I was soaked. I will say I had on this Oscio jacket actually, and this is not a waterproof jacket. Okay, I'll go ahead and start off by saying that. So the arms were damp on it, but this jacket kept me warm even though I was wet. I was pretty impressed by that. So I got this jacket as a tester, as a feeler. Wanted to try out some of the Oscio gear this year, and man, let me tell you, like it's definitely got me wanting to buy the rest of the stuff because the camo pattern worked. This pattern works amazingly, and this jacket kept me warm even though it was wet. I could only imagine what the rest of their stuff will do, their gear would do if I had all of it on.
Well, the thing is, it's like really quiet, and early season I was definitely using all of that, and then late season I had to pile on some layers. But even then, like as long as you dress for the weather, like you're going to be warm, and their late season stuff, it's like Sherpa lined and all of that. I mean, it's so high quality.
This is a Sherpa line,
and that's the best stuff in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I was hunting it tonight. I mean, it got down to before I got in the truck. It said 38 degrees once that sun went down. It did dip back down into the 30s real fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a t-shirt and this jacket, and then my hunting. I was actually in a pair of Drake wader pants and then my muck boots, but the wader pants are really thick. And we were hunting in a blind, so I wasn't super worried about wearing camo bottoms or anything like that. But I knew this jacket was warm, and sure enough, I mean, just a t-shirt and this, I felt great. So it kind of speaks for itself. Product speaks for itself. Just a little shout out to Oscio there.
Yeah, it's a little bit pricier than some of the baseline stuff, but it's definitely.
Well, when you're getting into high end camouflage and you start talking about that, it speaks for itself, and money. I mean, even as a duck hunter, we know like you get what you pay for, and if you buy a bunch of cheap stuff,
you get holes in your wader.
Yeah, that's possible too. If you buy a bunch of cheap stuff though, like it's gonna keep you warm like cheap stuff will. It's not gonna keep you warm, and if it does, it won't be for long, or it won't last long, or it won't hold up. Granted, I haven't put this jacket through the ringer yet. It's gonna get hopefully next season. It's gonna get the full wear in because I'm gonna hunt as much as possible next season, deer hunting. But anyways, hunted that state park hunt super slow. I didn't see a single deer that morning. Barely started hearing shots. we had a break in the rain for about 30 minutes, and that's when we started hearing shots go off. And when it rain picked back up, it stopped. When I don't want to ruin that part. So I went to the truck, got on dry clothes, and threw a bunch of the stuff around my heater vents and started drying what I could in the truck. I brought like 3 changes of camouflage because I knew it was going to rain, and I didn't have. Somebody's like, "You're a duck hunter. Why didn't you just wear your duck stuff?" Well, I'm deer hunting. None of that stuff is in a scent box or anything. All my duck gear hangs up in my closet. Like I wear it just like everyday clothes because a duck can't smell you like a deer can. So
I wouldn't even think about it.
So yeah, or else I would have been in that stuff. Trust me. But anyways, dry my stuff out, change in dry clothes, eat lunch, take a breather, and kind of regroup and think about what I'm going to do for the evening. And I finally decide where I'm going for the evening, and I go walking in, and I get down. So there's a bike path that you can walk on to take you down into the woods. And I go down in this. I go down in this bottom where I see these does. The last couple of times I've been hunting, and the rule is you have to be. I want to say it was like 100 yards off the bike path or 50 yards.
Yeah, I'll say
it's like just like a main road. You got to be 50 yards.
50 yards.
And I walk down off into this pocket. And I see a doe standing there, and I'm walking in like I'm not even like going. This isn't even where I'm going to originally hunt. And I just walk down in there, and I see this doe standing there, and I'm like, "Oh crap!" I was like, "I'm legally." I get on my Onyx real quick. I check. I'm like 70 yards from the road, so I'm like, "I'm legal."
Just send it.
I'm about to let her rip. So, because I'm doing the right thing. I mean, I did what I was supposed to. The deer's in the woods, so I'm facing away from the road shooting. My target is in a safe position. I said, I'm sending it. So, and I looked around, made sure nobody was around me. I'm looking for orange vest, obviously.
Green jeans.
It was me and one other guy. It was me and one other guy. Do what?
He said, looking for Mr. Green Jeans.
No, I didn't. No, because that's why because I was like, I'm gonna make sure I get far enough off the path, And she had no idea I was there, and I guess because of the rain, she couldn't hear me. And
yeah, hunting in the rain, like I hate to cut you off, but I have to comment on that. Hunting in the rain, I did it a couple times this year walking in.
Yeah.
And dude, it really helps. Now, as far as
you can walk up and jump on a deer in the rain.
Oh yeah.
If you do it right.
Scent control is a lot harder because,
amplified
away, but
yeah.
It does amplify your scent. Like if you like with camo dust, right? Like you put that on and then it downpours. Well, now you got to put more on. Well, it's all wet, so you have to put even more on. It that does suck.
Yeah, for sure.
If you pick your wind, you don't have to worry about all of that as much,
Yeah.
So
you play that wind. Me and my buddy Ricky snuck up on some public land deer during a rifle hunt a couple of years ago. It was raining, and we walked right up. I said, "Dude, there's 2 deer standing right there." And they had no clue we were 100 yards from them, but we were on an oak flat, and I was like, "Dude, we can walk up." We were gonna sneak up and shoot them, and then they saw us. Is the only reason they didn't hear us. They saw us because I was trying to go around, and I got tripped up on a on a vine. And when I did that, they looked up, and I was like,
"Shit!"
And then, there they went. So, but that rain, man, I use that to my advantage a lot if I can. I don't like being soaking wet, but hunting in the rain is super helpful. But anyways, shoot this doe, and she runs off. So I go check it out, and it was me and one other guy at the parking lot at the time. Anyway, so I knew nobody was back in there, and so I shoot her and go check it out, and I don't see any blood at this impact site. And I was like, that's weird, Seen a rifle, and this 300 Win Mag, I've shot. That was deer number 8 or 9 with that rifle, and every deer I've shot is like catastrophic to that deer. So for me not to have blood or hair or anything was kind of weird, and I was like, okay. And I just was like, I'm just gonna go walk in the direction she went. And sure enough, I just like walked up to her and she was laying there. I guess it was just because I was freehanding. It was about I don't know, she was 70 or 80 yards from me, further from the road. And I thought I was, I didn't realize how quartered she was, I guess. So when I shot her a little to the right, but she was quartered facing me to quartered two. So that bullet, I never saw an exit to that bullet when I gutted that deer. But I field dressed her in the rain, and I was not looking for an exit. I mean, I'd found the deer, so I was like, okay, that, and she died. She expired relatively quick. So, I gotta credit that to shooting the 300 Win Mag, but because I'm clearly gut shot her, and it was just a weird series of events for that. But luckily, I found her within, like I said, she went 40 or 50 yards and piled up. And she wasn't no giant doe. I gutted her, and you have to take them and check them in with the DNR when you shoot one for those quota hunts and all. So I took her to the check station, and I want to say gutted. She weighed out at like,
Wasn't it like
7,
160?
huh? No,
I
that
might be
was the
remembering wrong, but wasn't it?
that was the big one. That was the
Oh,
first one
okay.
I shot
Okay.
on private. She was. The guy didn't have a scale, but the processor I took her to, he sees, they see deer every day. I said, "What do you figure that deer is?" I mean, he said she's got to be everywhere to 165. He
Good
said,
God.
that's a tank of a doe, buddy.
Yeah, that's a
So
big doe.
yeah,
In
and
Georgia, that's a really big doe.
the pictures on my social medias, you can see me and my daughter with her. I mean, I'm a 300-pound guy, and it's still big next to me. So that little one I shot on public, when I say little, I mean it's probably a year and a half, 2.5-year-old doe, nothing crazy. I want to say she weighed right at like 70 pounds gutted. So not a giant doe, not a tiny doe, good mediocre Georgia doe, I think. And more food on table, more sausage in the skillet. So
Yep.
and
And
that
you were
pretty
chasing
much,
bucks. And
yeah,
that
for real.
sucks.
All the bucks on my private, on my club, just kind of disappeared, man. I hunted one evening on our power line stand and counted 17 or 15 or 17 deer, one spike out of all them deer, and
God.
all does. So, I don't know what it is about that place. I really enjoyed hunting that club. It was really nice of them to let me back in, but it's kind of a coin toss if I'm gonna get back in right now. I'm attempting to get back into an old club that I was in Heard County. So I'm just waiting to hear back about that. But yeah, man. So in the meantime, deer season next year is just kind of a toss up. I'm gonna put in for more quota hunts like I always do. I really enjoy those quota hunts. It's a great thing Georgia does. I'm gonna try to hunt more bonus buck hunts. All of the ones I wanted to hunt this year, I didn't touch a single one. It was due to primarily the fact that just a lot went on this year with me, and um, I had stayed in the same line of work, still doing diesel mechanic work, but I changed jobs to a new shop, and it just
Didn't work
it
out.
didn't pan out. Today was actually my last day there. So
you're deer hunting in the morning. I like it. I'm
might
kidding.
be deer hunting in the evening. I talked to my buddy that I hunted with this evening, and he was like, "If you want to come back over and hunt tomorrow, that's fine." So
Yeah. I mean, late season stuff, man, and Christian, I know you've got some spots that are extended archery and all that. And I want to touch on that because me and Hunter might be going hunting on Monday. That might be my legitimate last sit in whichever county we decide to go to. But Thor, I mean, was there anything else with your season you wanted to touch on before we jump into Christians?
no, hold on just a second. Sorry, I just got a phone call. I'm trying to tell him.
Oh Lord.
On the
Yeah.
but yeah, my season, I mean, that's as far as my deer season goes, that pretty much wrapped it up right there. I hunted a handful, I think 2 more times, and duck season kicked off in November.
And you've just been doing that ever since.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Tonight was the first time I've deer hunted since late October,
November, right?
early November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is crazy because I mean, that's like stopping deer hunting in the rut when normally these deer are supposedly easier to kill. I still don't really buy that, but
Yeah.
everyone's spots are different. So
I got you. Yeah.
but all right, Christian. Well, tell us about your season, man. You started off with a freaking bang, and you probably had the biggest buck on camera out of everybody.
This season I had some freaks, dude.
Yeah, you really
I had a 14-pointer on camera that I never got to see.
Yeah, that's insane.
14-pointer in Rockdale County. I'll tell the county, I don't care. It was in Rockdale. I hunt private property in Rockdale. I hunt a little 11-acre lot that is my fiance's grandparents' house that I literally hunt. Their property goes up to a triangle, and I hunt the tip of the triangle. I probably hunt 5 acres.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had this season, I had 4 shooters. 2 of them were from last season. As a matter of fact, the buck I killed opening weekend was the buck I missed last season.
Really?
I grazed his stomach last season, and he grew a tumor. Like he grew an infection area.
Damn.
Like I seen it as soon as he came back. He came back after I shot him at him last season, and so I had him on camera. I keep looking that way because I'm looking at him on the wall. My old lady has hearts hanging from him for Valentine's Day decorations. So, yeah, I can hang any animals on the wall, but she gets to decorate them for holidays. That's her rule. But so yeah, no, I missed him low and last season, and sure enough, it was the same buck because he grew a cyst. But that day, it was opening weekend. Didn't see anything that Saturday. I went hunting with Hunter Sunday morning to an area that he's got that we call River Bottom.
I know exactly where that's at, and that's probably where we're going. I would assume.
He's got giants. But we were sitting there, man. We were sitting there and we ain't seen nothing. Sunlight came up. My phone goes off. I pull my camera out. The Big 10 that we're going to talk about here in a minute, 20 yards broadside, just sitting there.
Sounds about right.
I showed him. He wanted to cry for me. I did too. So I was like, all right, well, I'm hunting there. That was Sunday morning. I said, I'm going to hunt there this evening. I got plenty of corn out. Well, the tree that I originally had my saddle in, just started saddle hunting this season too. Love it. We'll never go back to anything else. I suggest if you are a big guy and you were scared of it, try it. I am over 300 pounds and I am comfortable. And
I don't know if I'm
as these
scared
guys,
of it, but I just
as these guys can contest, there's a video of me jumping on a broken platform out there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Christian proved it. You need to send that to whatever brand saddle that is and be like,
Tethered. They sent me another one. They made it right. They sent me a brand new platform, no questions asked. Took that one back.
That's awesome.
They are one of the best warranty companies I have worked with so far.
What saddle was it?
I got the Grit platform. I got the Grit line. So it's technically tethered, but it's a different, like it's a sister company, I guess is what they call it.
Okay.
But it's the exact same platform as the tethered platform. It's just brown instead of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like to a T. I got the XL. I got the tethered Grit XL.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now,
bottom land.
I may dabble in the tether or in the saddle again a little bit because I started using my climber kind of as a saddle, and I like it. Like, dude, I really like it, dude. It's nice having the tree there, Yeah. I don't know why, but I get it.
Fall asleep. You have your bag. You can put your bow right there because I shoot regular, but I have my bow to the left. And I have all my stuff, my bag right there in front of me. I don't have to reach around the tree to touch my bag. My bag is literally right in front of me. I can reach down to grab my snags, grab my calls, whatever I need. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a different way of hunting.
And you can physically go 360 degrees around the tree. You can.
See, that's the thing with doing it the way that I was doing it is I can't. Like, I was really doing it to sort of use the tree as cover.
Yeah, if your platform is not like ratchet strapped in the tree, do not try to go around the tree, please.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. It was cool, like because I'll be using at least two different methods, like a climber and a hang on next year. And if I decide to go the saddle route, I'll be using that too. But I mean, I might just start using my climber as a saddle, man, honestly, because like, some of the spots I've got now, I know where this deer come from, so I can just set up where the tree's right there. And then I'm sure once we cover my up and down season, I'll touch on it, but it works. I mean, saddle hunting, I used to call them tree diapers. I still kind of do because it's funny, but I get why people do it, like a lot of people I know started doing it and it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So I didn't mean to cut in on that.
Hunter got me doing it. No, you're good. Hunter got me doing it. He told me he was doing it, and I'm bigger than Hunter. And I put it on, and it fit me. And I wear a size 46 jeans, and they fit me. My XL saddle fits me perfectly.
So there you go. Anyone listening wants to use a saddle, they fit everybody.
Please do it. Please do it. Go ahead. Go ahead and sponsor me. Go ahead and sponsor me.
I'm looking into the same one you got this year. I think this summer. I really want to try yours out and then see if it works good. But
oh, we lost him.
No, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do what?
So he had to four.
Now I really want to try yours out and see if I like it first, but
oh yeah, which I'll let anybody try mine, man. I love it. But anyway, so on Sunday he came. On Sunday I drew back on a doe originally. There was this big old dark nanny doe who's been bullying every other doe from coming in. So I'm like, well, if I want a buck to come in here, I gotta get rid of this doe. She's real aggressive. She's not letting any other doe come in. So I pulled back. She was 35 yards away. I pulled back where I look over and I just see a rat walking right towards the corn from the woods. I'm like, oh, holy crap. So I let down.
You went straight Mickey Mouse on it.
Oh yeah, I did. I let down ever so slightly what I thought was ever so slightly. I was shaking. I grabbed my rangefinder and I see him, and I see his little. If y'all ever see pictures, you'll see it. But I see his little tumor hanging.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's him. I got to get him out of here. And me and him, we got unfinished business.
You sure it was a tumor, not something else?
I don't think it was a tumor, but I think it was like. It was it wasn't like it was. I cut it off. I cut it open, dude. It was just meat. It was meat. There was no nastiness in there. It was just meat and cartilage. I even had it looked at by a butcher, and he was like, "It's just meat and cartilage."
Huh?
He's like, "It just healed weird." He was like, "It just healed weird." He said, "You can see though." I got to look at. He said, "You can see where you nicked it with a broadhead the year before."
Hell, you might have given him a hernia.
It might have been. I don't know, but
it sounds like.
He looked at it. He was like, you're good to eat it. I was like, well, you know what? Just to be safe, I'll eat the back quarter. You can do whatever you want with the front quarter. Yeah. I ended up giving all that deer away. Just saying, didn't eat any of it. I told everybody if I gave it to him what was wrong with it. And they said, oh, we're good. But he came out. I shot him.
Called me and cried.
Man. Oh, dude, it was crazy. First person I called was Caitlin. Told her, I was like, I just shot a deer. And it was crazy. And then I called you. You were second. And I don't remember who else. I called everybody.
Hey, I
don't remember.
I'll take it.
But then after that, man, I didn't get back in the stand for probably a week, maybe 2 weeks. And my little sister called me. And her and her boyfriend, they got a baby on the way. She's due actually any day now. My little sister is, but she said, "Hey, we just bought this RV, big old RV." She's like, "We want some meat." I'm like, "All right." I've had like 6 doe come out between 6 and 7. This is early bow season, not now, but early bow season. Legal shooting light, all that. So they can't. I go and my little brother's texting me, and I still see the text about it, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna have a doe come out at like 6:30. Anyway, you can head over here and help me." He's like, "How do you know?" It was like 4:30. He's like, "How do you know?" I was like, "There's gonna be a doe dead at 7:45, dude. I promise you. Like, I'll be pulling her out."
Yeah, early season you can kind of call your shot almost.
Oh yeah, especially if you have corn, like and you have the corn, and they're there every day that week. Like I'm sitting at work and at the house just watching them. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you just wait till Saturday, buddy."
No,
I don't care.
Do like I did with trike. Train these deer, think they're going to show up, and then they just gone.
Yeah, I told him. I said,
Did
you
that
and
for
your
us.
kids, they ain't got no spots. Y'all ain't none of y'all safe. I'm going to tell you because I know if I don't kill them, one of these Rockdale gun hunters that hunt around me is going to blast the heads off these bad boys.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm a meat hunter. Like I don't. The only giant that I've ever pulled back on is the one we're going to talk about here in a minute. But so I killed this doe, both the doe and the buck. I'm shooting swackers. I'm shooting the new
The LRP.
the blue ones.
Oh no, that's the
No.
that's the 269. The Levi
Yeah.
Morgan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Levi Morgan.
Oh,
Yeah,
Levi.
I met
Levi.
Levi Morgan. I met him, and I had the old original green ones in my hand, and he was like, "Well, look at these," and I was like, "Hey, if the man tells you look at these, you freaking look at them, all right, buddy."
Dude, I was so
I bought
mad.
them. I
I made
bought
it
them.
there 5 minutes after they left, and I was
Dude, I still got the hat.
fuming pissed. I probably passed them on the way in. It's
He probably
ridiculous.
did. Yeah, I still got the hat and everything, but I've shot them ever since. And it might be fangirling just because I met him and he told me to shoot him. He like told me to try them out.
Yeah.
But they've worked because them deer I shot, and it was my fault. I was shaking. I'm still new, like newish to archery bow hunting. I've only killed 3 deer in my life, and they've all been on the bow. So I'm still new to it. I started like myself on this, but I was shaking, and I still hit on the buck I shot. He fell. I hit him back and high, so I spotted him, but he wasn't going nowhere.
Mm.
He fell he fell over immediately, and within 30 seconds he was done moving. He was dead. He quit breathing.
Damn.
So I don't know, because when he hit the ground, he was shaking, and the broadhead never came out. So I don't know if when he was moving around and shaking, if he was just cutting up that inside with that swacker, which is probably what happened. Because when I cut open, it was pretty bad. When I cut it open, it was nasty.
Yeah. I mean, Hunter talked me into trying them out next year. Like, I'm going to get the exact one you're talking about and try
100%. And then with these ones, the coolest thing is they got this new thing to where, because my biggest thing about swackers was the old ones, rubber bands would always dry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got this thing that you put in, you cut it off, where it's internal to where you have no more rubber bands. It's a rubber like straw looking thing, and it still cuts fine. It has no. I tested it. I put a band on there and I pushed it through my finger to see how much it took to cut it, and I did the rubber band. It takes less for that little bitty thing to cut than it does a rubber band. The rubber band stretched. This slices immediately.
See, I didn't know that. I thought they
You
were
ain't got
still
to worry
using rubber
about
band style.
Oh no, you can use rubber bands on the new Levi Morgans if you want to, or you can do the one how me and Hunter do them with the little blue straw looking rubber things.
Well, that's good to know.
Coolest
now
thing.
I got something else to play with.
Yeah, because my biggest thing was the rubber band. Every time I tested it, dude, the rubber band would stretch like an inch before it broke. So I'm like, it's stretching that much before it opens up in a deer. How far is it getting in the deer before it's completely open?
Yeah, I mean that has always been, and I've said for years I'm not a Schwacker style fan, and I'm still not. I haven't shot anything with them yet. I've only shot deer with mega meads, fixed blades, and beast heads, and all 3 of those have performed great. But you know, hearing you talk about it and hearing Hunter talk about it and really looking into it, I mean, it can't hurt. You know, like
no, I mean,
doe.
No, this doe I shot, dude. The doe I shot her quartering 2. It hit back of her lung. It clipped her back. She was facing me, so it'd be my right. It clipped her back right lung, and I had a 10-inch exit cut. A 10-inch exit wound exit cut with guts hanging out on her back, other exit, dude. It sliced like no other. I couldn't find my arrow on the doe I got from my sister because I shot that doe immediately when I told my brother what time I was going to shoot it. I shot it within that time zone. I called him and said, "Hey, doe down. I'm looking at her."
Yeah.
But she took off up there towards my car. I thought I could find my arrow. Couldn't find it. I found it the next day. It was like she slung it out of her when she took off running because she jumped. But 20 yards from where I parked was a pile of guts. Was the back half of her guts was sitting there. I'm like, oh yeah, she's dead. And this was like, I'm walking through high grass looking for this doe because she took off through a field that hasn't been cut. And it's like, dude, it looks like a horror movie going on. Just blood splattered everywhere. When she goes on the neighbor's property and I find her, and she's barreled over, dude. She done put it this way. All I had to pull out of her was her lungs and her heart. Everything else was out, was gone.
Dude, that's like when I
Mhm.
shot that doe last year with the megamine. It was a gut shot, and it was like literally that big of a hole.
Mm-hmm.
All her guts were hanging out. That's wow.
Well, I didn't hunt any more after that. Could care less. I was like, all right, I got 2 bucks. I got 2 deer. I'm good. Well, I was like, you know what? Here comes duck season. Let me get in the last 2 weekends before the first split.
Yeah.
Because every year, dude, duck season starts. I don't deer hunt. I don't care. But I
Still
got
blows
in.
my mind y'all do that.
Dude, I got in the second on the weekend. It was 2 weekends before duck season. The first weekend I got in, didn't see a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I put out corn that weekend. Well, this was like pure rut territory, like right there at the rut. So I moved my whole setup. I'm like, you know what? Let's do the stupidest thing I could probably do and move my setup. So I moved it and moved the way I walked in, everything. Well, it's the weekend before duck season, and it's Sunday. I didn't hunt Saturday. I had to work, so I get in for an evening hunt. Well, on the walk in, I'm walking this trail I always walk. I see poop on it, like a little bitty deer droplets. I'm like, oh, cool, man. A deer's been taking this trail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been spraying it's that nose down stuff, the vanilla.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've been spraying the crap out of my clothes with that scent killer vanilla cover up scent stuff. And I've been spraying that, and I was spraying something else, some other scent killer. It's not nose down, it's nose jammer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow
That
jacket.
vanilla
Attractant.
too. That vanilla. I'll spray that too.
Oof.
Still Yellow Jacket 3000.
Yeah, dude. Nose jammer works good, but man, if you're like me and you hate yellow jackets, do not use that early season.
Oh no, I don't. I
Oh,
use fresh dirt early season, and then I switch to
yeah.
vanilla during the rut.
That's what I started using before I switched to camo dust, man. And I'll tell you, like, I think I know why I didn't kill anything in 20 or anything else in 2022. Because when I started hunting evenings with it, dude, I'm swatting shit away the whole time,
Mosquitoes and
moving. I mean, it
everything, dude,
was
it's horrible.
Yeah, it was rough.
It's
Late season, it
horrible.
works great, but early season,
Yeah, early season, I'm a fresh pine or fresh dirt guy. That's what
nothing that Dr. Squatch, man.
Oh yeah, I got some.
I'm a good autumn formula. I'm a good autumn formula.
There you go.
But no, man, I sprayed my whole body down, even bought my boots and everything with this vanilla. And I walked down this trail, and I've been walking it for a few days, and I was like, well, this trail looks beat down a little bit. Well, anyways, I climbed in my saddle, and behind me, I kept all the trees behind me for all the limbs and stuff for a good backdrop because there's no cover in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
There's barely any. I can see my corn, and from the height of the tree to where my corn, I'm probably 25 feet up in this tree because I got a 20-foot ladder, and then I'm climbing up two limbs past my 20-foot ladder to get to my platform. They're big limbs. We're okay. They're big limbs. Well, because where my corn's at, when the deer's standing, if I was at the tippy top of my 20-foot ladder, I would probably been maybe 5 feet over that eye level.
Mm.
So I'm like, let me get up as high as I can get. Well, hunting, man, I ain't seen nothing but squirrels and doves. I can freaking limit out on doves on this little 11-acre lot probably every day during dove season if I wanted to. Like I got
You
video.
just let me know.
We can't. It's baited.
No, never mind. Don't let me know.
I got videos. I probably got videos of 100 doves eating my corn that I put out there.
Dude. Is it illegal to kill crows? Because I'm having that problem with my spots. It is illegal?
Yes. No, it's legal. You can.
Oh, it's legal.
It's illegal, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I might grab some of the heads and just start chopping crows out of there because, yeah, man.
Oh, dude. Well, all these squirrels keep running back behind me to my left. And I've never had a deer come out. And I've hunted here 3 years. I've never had a deer come out of this area at all. Back behind me is the road. Like maybe 60, 70 yards behind me is the road. I can hear the people across the street just built houses, and I can hear them having their quinceañeras and having their parties, dude. It's awesome. But
yeah. That's that urban hunting, boy.
Dude, it pretty much is.
suburban.
It could be. Like, I can hear everything. And I'm slap dab in Conyers right into the horse park.
I know exactly where that's at.
Yeah,
I know
like
exactly where that's at.
I am probably less than 1,000 yards from Costly Mill at the bridge on
Wow.
138. At the bridge on
Dude,
138, probably less than 1,000 yards.
Is this the same spot you had that 14 point?
Yes, same.
Okay, that makes sense because I used to
That's the
hunt the
only
horse
place
park
I
with a
hunt.
buddy of mine,
Yeah.
and dude, he killed a good. I should have gotten him on here today, but he's always busy. But he killed a really good, I think 8 or 10 point over there this year,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Is that the biggest one you had?" He goes, "Nah, dude." He's like, "This is probably mid range for what we have," and I'm like, "That is freaking nuts." I mean,
Oh.
Rockville. I hope me saying this doesn't bring more people there because I plan on knocking on a lot of doors.
Well, it's the problem. But nobody's going to let you. Like, that's the problem. I've tried knocking
Really?
I've knocked on every house on the same road that I hunt on.
Yeah.
Because next to me is another 12-acre lot. Because on it tells you where the people are from. How you can get in touch with them.
Mhm.
The person who owns the lot next to me lives in Florida, dude. They've never even been down here. I sent them an email and they said, no, if I catch you on my property, I will call them all. And I'm like, dude, you go look them. They're using the property for trash. There's tires and trash on
That's
this
disgusting.
property. Because I don't care. I went over and looked. I'm like, what is going on over here? And there's trash and tires. There's trash.
They probably don't want to get caught with that.
Yeah,
that's illegal. At least I'm pretty sure it's illegal.
But nobody's been to this property. But anyway, so these freaking, we can't get off topic.
Yeah, sorry.
These squirrels keep running back behind me to my left. No, it's good. I keep on talking too and get on topic. But these squirrels keep running back behind me to my left. And I look back and I see a squirrel sitting there. I'm like, man, this squirrel keeps getting louder and louder and bigger and bigger. So I look back behind me again and I just see a rat. And I freeze. I'm like, holy! I didn't know what to do. Like I've never seen a deer this big. He was 30 yards when I turned around and seen him. 30 yards looking right straight towards me, but not at me. So I grabbed my bow, and as I'm turning around to look at him, I draw back. I'm like, because I'm not going to have a chance. I don't know what's going to happen. Well, I draw back, and the cool thing about this saddle is I just twist my hips to the left, and boom, I'm in place. I'm there. I'm locked in, ready to go, anchored up.
Just swinging around.
Yeah, I have one little circle for him to walk through that has absolutely no way of hitting anything.
Mm-hmm.
He walks a foot behind that circle.
I'd have shot anyway. If this deer's as big as you're saying, I'd have been like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead.
I wish that I could have FaceTimed y'all on my old lady's iPad and shown you pictures on my camera that I have of him. Because I have pictures of deer, and I crap you not, dude. And I've only scored one deer, and my deer scored 98. And compared to that deer, this deer probably looks like the deer I've showed y'all. Comparing him to what that deer is, he's like them freaking mule deer I've showed y'all that her family has up there. Comparison, he's huge, dude.
Yeah.
Where was this?
Dude, in Rockdale.
I heard you've got some doe problems. I could probably come help with that next season.
dude, just kidding. That's the thing.
I'm joking. I couldn't do that.
They don't care. Like as long as I'm cool with it and I go with anybody, like as long as you're bow hunting, they don't care. So that's the craziest thing. I got a bow hunt. I can't gun hunt there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Rockdale County is a gem by far. I mean,
oh yeah. Dude, right down the road is like 1,300 acres of nothing but prime wooded land that the deer run on.
Yeah,
which is where they're coming from.
I call it like the eastern east of Atlanta version of Seek One's territory.
That's exactly what it is. Like the deer, I know exactly where they're coming from. I know where they're bedding. They're bedding in between our house and the neighborhood in the thick briars, and then they're traveling my property, going to the 1,300 acres of field that's planted.
Yeah.
That's 300, 400 yards away from me. Like there's 400 yards away from me is like 1,300 acres of nothing but prime wooded territory.
It's just crazy to hear you say all that and talk about a deer like that, and then y'all just are like, you know what? I'm gonna go shoot some birds out of the sky. And I know it's fun, but dude, I just can't wrap my head around it.
I showed a guy who scores deer. Like he's good at looking at deer and scoring them. And he said, I give that deer. He said, I give that deer
Get that
every
door.
bit. He said, for a Rockdale County deer, that deer will hit every bit of 140 to 150 inches.
I believe it.
For
I've had
a 10
one
point. For a 10-point Rockdale County deer.
I had one on camera 4 years ago. That was 140, 150, and it was still the biggest deer I've ever seen.
I literally watched this deer. I watched this deer grow from velvet. I've had him on camera all season, but the last picture I have of him, he's in velvet. I never had a picture of him hardhorned.
So he was
until
there.
Until opening season. That day he came out, and then he never walked again. Turns out he's been walking that trail behind my camera every day because he's been hitting a scrape. I watched him because as he jumped away, I let down. I go to turn around because he's walking to my right. He goes from my left to my right. I go to turn around. My tip of my broadhead hits the tree, and my arrow hits my wrist. He jumps and gets behind a tree, a bush. So I pull around and I draw back. I'm right there where his scrape's at. There's a scrape over there. I'm draw back. I'm anchored in. I'm ready to go to the scrape, and he just walks into the woods and walks away.
Well, you know where to sit next year.
Oh yeah.
If you don't, 100%. I'm going to.
The crazy thing
I will find where this is.
The thing is where I need to sit next year is where I sat last year and didn't get a chance on any buck but that one I missed. Man. Because that's where the doe come from. That's where all the doe come from where I sat last year. They walk right down that trail, which is why that buck goes over there.
Yeah.
Because the does are over there.
That's something that I've been hearing a lot lately. And if I had the opportunity, and if I wasn't so picky this year, I probably could have implemented it. But hunting deer early season in one spot, the second that pre-rut starts and the rut's happening, you need to move because they won't be there.
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah, they're going somewhere else. And that kind of...
They could care less about your corn, dude.
Oh, 100%. I mean, dude, that is something that, and I'm not trying to jump into, I guess, my up and down season yet, but that is something I learned this year.
That's it. My deer season ended right there, dude.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
I was ready to
great way to end it.
I was ready to sell my saddle and sell my bow and everything. I wanted to cry. That was one of the moments where you undid your saddle hook and just jumped.
How I was feeling with Trike.
Yeah, like Creed. You're listening to Creed going down, dude. Just ready to hit the ground.
Oh God. Well, I guess we can just skim through mine before we wrap this up with the duck season stuff. But as you guys know, Trike was obviously on camera every day, and I thought I'd kill him and all this dumb stuff.
2-year-old.
Shut up. And I don't remember how long it was. When did we get that hurricane? Late September, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for people who don't listen to the podcast and hear me talk about it every episode, he showed up that night and I had 2 chances, blew both of them. And then after that, it was just a cat and mouse game and, killed a doe a couple weeks later with the beast broadhead, which I'm going to tell you guys what, I know people's opinion on Bomar. I understand y'all have broadheads that you like. Huh?
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
No, I understand. I understand. But
it's going to cost too many people I know deer.
Well, okay. So, all right. I'm so glad you said that because that's what I was going to touch on. The first deer I killed, full pass through, no problem, dead in 30 seconds. A week ago, or 2 weeks ago now. Was it 2 weeks ago? No, it was literally last Tuesday. I was hunting over at the lake, shot a doe, kind of quartered to broadside enough that it should have been the same thing, just dead in seconds with the same head and no blood, never found her. I'm convinced it was a 1 lung gut, which, okay, fine. But it's shocking to me that a broadhead like that is 2-inch, 2-blade, basically a rage that doesn't close or doesn't stay closed. No blood. Even the doe that I shot and killed, no blood.
Well, what's crazy because you sent me the picture of the arrow and I was like, "What do you mean no blood?" I said that arrow's coated,
dude. Exactly. That's the thing. If anyone who's listening wants to see the arrow, I can send a photo to them. It is bright red because I shoot white veins for that reason. so
Yeah.
I can see like
Same,
what
same,
I'm seeing.
same.
And dude, I went back, like Thor, you were talking about going back to blood, the first blood. I went back like 10 times and went
Yeah.
in every direction I knew that she had went, and I just never found her. So
Yeah.
the head is good on penetration, but as far as blood trails go, it's absolutely terrible.
Well, that's what some of people have said. They've had problems with it not even opening. Like it wouldn't open.
That's shocking. That's
Like
really
they've
shocking.
they've had he shot. He said I think one of my buddies said he shot a doe with one, and the way he described it, dude, it was middle lung, perfect broadside pass through, no blood, didn't open. He found the arrow with the broadhead still closed.
Wow.
Huh.
Like
Huh.
it didn't open. And then it's
Well,
supposed to take 1 pound, so he shot it out of his old lady's bow into a watermelon, and it didn't open either.
that's insane.
He shot the
I've
same
never heard of
one.
that.
Well, it is a mechanical head though. It could have been defective.
Yeah, it could have had a faulty lock,
True.
Yeah.
had a messed up spring. It could have had something stuck in it, not letting it open. I mean, who
Yeah.
knows?
I mean,
Yeah.
and
I'll just stick to mine that open whenever meat touches them instead of a
yeah.
spring.
Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at now is like, y'all know I started the year off with fixed blades, shot a doe, and I mean, she was broadside and she should have died, and the blood was terrible. Didn't find her. Then shot that other doe with the beast, watched her fall. And then I got that new spot where I had literally 6 different shooters, which is the most I've ever had on camera. One of them daylighted and he never presented a shot. And then just chased them the rest of the season. Didn't even hunt Monticello but one time, which I really regret that. Trike never showed back up. And then, here we are. Hunted last Thursday. Saw a spike. I almost shot my first spike. I was at that point where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot one. I don't care. But it didn't happen. And then again, shot that other doe and never found her. So if I go this coming Monday, I will say the beast will not be in my quiver. I can tell you that right now. It's not that I don't trust it, but to me, I'm basically shooting another fixed blade. In my experience with fixed blades, like I'll say this, I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm gonna tell Brian Anderson next week from G5 when he comes on the podcast.
Or G5.
I'm gonna say this: out of the 3 broadheads I've killed deer with, there's only one of them that's 100% recovery rate, and that's the Mega Meat. If you look at every single one that I've shot, the Omega from VPA, which is the Omega is a great head, right? But I've killed 1 deer with it.
That's a damn good head.
Killed two deer with the Mega Meat, 1 deer with the beast, and I've lost deer to other broadheads I've used, but it's always been something else. It was never the broadhead. Now I'm not blaming the broadhead, but blood trails.
If you just get a crossbow, you'll be fine. You'll be more
Yeah,
accurate.
well, I have, dude. Actually, want to see something crazy? Look at this.
He's got one on hand, folks.
Yeah, you got a crossbow with a nap band on it.
Don't judge me, but
Oh,
that was before I got into real bow hunting. But anyway,
before you hit puberty.
What is it? Oh God. Anyway, that was pretty much the season, and then I found a shed yesterday, so that was cool.
Oh, baby.
You found a shed. Is this yours?
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of the deer. So I've got the camera over at that new spot, right?
Yeah.
I went over there to fix the camera.
Check Rockdale.
Found that, and then 2 days before was off that buck, and he's already dropped his other side. So that antler you're seeing on there is the one I found. I don't know where the other one's at yet.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go back.
Rockdale.
I'll go back in like 3-4 weeks and check again. But yeah, man, the Mega Meat is the only one I've had 100% recovery rate with. So as of right now, based off stats alone, to take out all the other crap, that might be the one to roll with. That or the dead meat. I don't know.
She's one of Levi Morgan Swackers.
I'm gonna try them out. All right. So I want to wrap this up with the duck stuff, but I have to say this: 2 blades and 3 blades mechanicals. I'm starting to see like a trend here with 2 blades. And again, I haven't shot the Levi's, so I don't know. But I feel like the 2 blades don't bleed as good as a 3-blade.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll show you videos.
I'm just saying, like I know what you went through, but in my experience,
I can
I don't know,
show you
man.
gallons, no gallons.
And maybe it's just where you shoot them at, because I know shot placement, like that's obviously extremely important,
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm gonna test some stuff on some hogs this summer with JR and see what
I
they
want to go
do.
over and shoot one so bad, dude.
Huh?
I want to go over and shoot one so bad.
Well, if we plan it, we all can go. I don't think.
Oh yeah, I know. I just got to talk to him. I know. Hey, he's putting on Facebook talking about whoever wants to come. He put on there what he's gonna charge and everything, and that's not bad at all to go over and kill a hog, especially if he's supplying the ammunition and the gun. But I
Shoot,
want to
I
do it
told
with
him
my
I was
bow.
like, I'm taking
I
my
want to do it
bow,
with my
dude.
bow. Yeah, I want to do it with my
I'm
bow.
trying to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to shoot it at night. I'm trying to shoot it at night. That'd be sweet.
I'm trying to shoot at night with buttered sausage.
Buttered up.
I want to talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it is. What? That's what I'm gonna call this episode: buttered sausage with Christian and Thor.
That's one of the most common said things in the duck blind.
You think I'm kidding? And the background is going to be him with that look on his face.
Dude, that'd be the best.
Oh man. Well, that's our seasons. We've been going at this for an hour. So explain this to me so we can wrap this up. What is it about duck hunting that makes you guys be like, you know what? Screw deer, I'm going after that.
I can't explain it, dude, because I don't walk that far to deer hunt. But me and my you can ask Thor. Me and my little brother, we some walking fools. I'm a big boy. The other day, me and my little brother walked 7,000 yards.
Yeah.
Good
to
God.
go and kill 2 ducks.
That ain't worth it.
And they did it. I'm proud of them. They went.
It's duck hunting in Georgia, man. It's unless you're on a private swamp, you ain't. Or you got a boat to get to the places. If you're walking in, it's so hard to find because you're beating all these kids nowadays, and the younger generation who is trying to hunt. Which I'm only 25, but the people who are younger than me, dude, they literally just want to fight. And it's not worth it. It's not, because that's going to lead to you're going to fight. You're going to beat up this kid, and then first thing he's going to do is pick up that shotgun.
Yeah.
And it's not like I've hunted 2 public spots this year and almost witnessed 2 fights. It's
you did
not.
What?
I've hunted 2 public spots this year with some group of buddies people that were younger than us, and I've almost witnessed 2 fights
over ducks.
Over young kids being idiots is what I'm going to say on the Paul podcast. Just young kids being idiots.
That's so dumb, dude.
But
I don't want to go even more.
It does something to you, man. Like,
oh, dude, it's crazy. It's just something about it. Just going out there at dark. Like when we had that snowstorm the other day, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's the day me and my little brother walked out 7,000 yards. We walked in, it was regular. There was leaves on the ground. It was a regular day. We got out there. We literally watched the world turn white.
Yeah.
We watched it start snowing. We watched the sun come up. We watched snow going over the video. If you go on my Instagram, dude, there's a video of it of us just sitting there watching snow fall on our duck decoys, and we killed 2 ducks. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
getting out of there was a little hairy, but it was awesome.
Yeah. It sounds fun. Like I would do it. I've told Thor this 1,000 times. There's nothing that would make me be like, oh, this is way better than deer hunting. I'm gonna give that up. But would it be something that I'd probably want to do once or twice a year? I could see that. I mean,
I would never give up deer hunting. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I told Thor, dude, I don't even have to hunt. I'll just go for the experience of it. Like being there,
It's fun. It's fun. Last season we went, I didn't kill anything, and I was more excited to go this season than anything. And I killed 4 ducks this season. Which is the most I've killed ever.
What do you normally, what would you say like an average duck season would yield? Like 5, 6, 10?
Here in Georgia.
It could, well, that's the thing. Like, it could depend. Because, like, if I had my boat still and I was hunting where I want to.
It could be better. It could be worse.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the other thing about guys are secretive about where they deer hunt.
Mhm.
the
You don't
people are
mention
even more
you don't
secretive
mention
about
when
where they duck hunt.
yeah, you don't mention remotely
And
where
you
you're
don't
duck.
even mention where you put in at, dog. You don't even mention what freaking boat ramp you put in at.
Really?
You don't mention a thing. That's how most deer hunters
Huh.
are. I mean, duck hunters are here in Georgia. You don't mention that. And with this
Um,
being the second season, I'm still trying to learn my spread and all that stuff. So that has a big ordeal about this season for me. Is I'm still learning about what to do with my spread, about how the wind's coming, where they're going to be landing, which way they're going to be flying in, which side of the island do we want to set up on. For our biggest problem is where the heck can we touch?
yeah, because we're not in a boat, so everything we do's got to be walk in, and it has to be where we can still walk out there and put decoys and stuff. So,
Mhm.
um, even
See,
if
I'm not a
we're
good swimmer. So I feel like if I did that with y'all, you'd have to tie a rope to me and then I
well,
would go I'd go out and if I'm
It's
too
like
deep,
not
pull me
bad.
out.
It's really the waders help.
yeah,
And then you put on a lot more layers. You have layers and all that. Like when we killed them ducks the other weekend, the two me and my brother killed, I shot one of them on open water. Like he was 50 yards out in the middle of the lake. And when I was about to get down to my skippies and go there and swim and start a fire and warm back up. But luckily the wind had other plans and it pushed it close enough to where we could use a rope and a log and lasso the bad boy out there and pull them in. That's how we got both of our ducks with a rope and a log.
yeah.
That's funny.
You do what you can for them because, like, for whatever reason, I don't know, man.
You're
Like a couple weeks ago, I shot two wood ducks and two Drake wood ducks on public land, and every time I put that shotgun to my shoulder, after I pull that trigger, especially if I kill one, I see that duck crumple up.
dude.
You get that, I get that adrenaline like I just shot a deer every time I pull the trigger on a shotgun.
She
Every
gets you at
time,
half staff.
And you
yeah,
get to do it more
pretty
than
much.
once.
Every time them ducks come in, when you're standing there and it's right at daybreak and you hear wood ducks off in this and just weep, 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 you hear them, and then you'll hear
When they
like
come in, they hear like
you'll
fighter
literally hear
jets, dude.
it sounds like a fighter jet when they come over top of you.
Just
It's sort of like
and then you just start doing it's
but
like just coming
when
in
they
like a
Well,
mini fighter jet.
I'm gonna have to make the effort
when
to
you're
actually go
standing
with
there,
you.
yeah, because like when you're standing there, it's 8:45. The wood ducks have quit flying. The big ducks ain't flying quite yet, or if they are,
There's
you're not
time
seeing
limits.
them.
You gotta
Whatever.
wait. You gotta wait.
Yeah, and then you hear what sounds like a trumpet off in the distance, and you're like,
That's it.
and then you
Go
hear
geese.
louder and louder. Here comes 30 geese over top of you, just
Hmm.
and you're hammering down, they're hammering down. You're just trying to get them to pay attention enough to break them off and get them to you. And it's just something like when you put in that work, because like it's a little different than deer hunting, because deer hunting and deer calling, like you can do some calling, but you have you don't have to call ducks because there's times where you don't call at them, especially when they're
But then there's
super
times where
hunted.
you're in a freaking marching band, son.
Most of the time, though, when you're goose hunting, you do want to call geese. Like it requires you to do some calling.
Hmm.
So if you call into these birds and they actually work your spread, which means like they make a couple passes and actually come into your setup.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. There's no better feeling because like you did that work. Like you put that work in, you made that animal think right then and there in that heat of the moment that you were
Another geese.
ducking geese. You were another duck. You set it up just right. You made it look real as crap because a duck can pick out anything from way up. And dude, if
Yeah.
they don't think it's right, they will not come. They will not land in the spread. They will not hang out down there. They will leave. They will keep flying. They will keep going. So
They'll
it
see the
has to
whites
be
of your
right.
eyes. They will.
Yeah.
They will see the whites of your eyes. Like we paint our faces black and we still look
That's why.
down. Don't look up.
Yeah, we paint our cheeks black and we're camoed out. I mean, I put gloves on and stuff because like they can see.
That's crazy. Yeah,
We
I'm gonna have
we don't
to.
let nothing. We don't leave nothing laying around. You don't want decoys that are shiny. Stuff. It's crazy. There's a lot to it, and it's got to be just right. And if you do it
Just
just
like
right,
deer
though, it
hunting, you're
pays off.
blind. You're blind.
That's
Your hide.
crazy.
Your hide is the most important part of duck hunting, dude.
Yeah, you better blend in.
Like
Huh.
me and my little brother, we made a homemade blind when we went with Thor one morning just to help, just to hunt because there was nowhere to set up. So we just started
Yeah.
stabbing sticks in the mud and putting grass in it, dude. And it looked good.
Yeah.
Well,
It looked good. But
I
then,
guess I'm just gonna have to go with y'all sometime to
oh
experience it.
yeah, dude, public land duck hunting in Georgia and some of these spots is like a war zone, dude.
Yeah.
Is the easiest way to I went to a spot with Thor last season and we're sitting there and as soon as you see or hear a bird coming over the wood line, everybody's calling at that one bird, dude. Everybody and their freaking mama. My grandma was back home freaking letting me on call eat, trying to get that bird to come in, put it that way. But we had two geese last season that they just worked so good and came to our area. They circled and dude, we just couldn't connect. But it was
We
the coolest
whipped.
thing. We whiffed bad.
Huh.
That was my
No
first
geese.
season. That was my first season. I ain't been doing too bad at whiffing this year. I got some ducks in my pocket. Hopefully, we're going to a place this Saturday that it produced last weekend with a bunch of ducks. So hopefully, we send some pictures this coming up weekend of some good birds.
Yeah. Well, definitely send them to me. And like I said, we'll find a time next season that I'd actually
yeah.
get up and go freeze my ass off with y'all. Maybe I'll even get a duck or goose costume to run around the woods in and try to pull them in. I don't know
If
if
you're
that'll
gonna
work,
go,
but
if you're gonna go to see if you like it, go early. Go the first split.
okay. Well,
First
we'll
split's
work all
not
that out.
cold.
We'll work it out. I mean, if I could shoot a duck with my bow, I know it's been done, but that'd be
Boy.
tough but fun.
Oh,
But
dude,
anyway,
it's
now
hard
we're
enough
just
with a
talking
Let
gun.
it
dumb,
land.
huh?
I
Just
said it's
let it
hard enough
land.
with the shotgun. Good God.
Yeah.
Hey, it'd be fun. I'd be proud if I could take a duck down with the bow, but
Oh, yeah.
we'll see what happens. But anyway, boys, um, you know, congrats on your deer. Sorry that it wasn't as good as it should have been, but we'll put in the work this year and we need to start talking about the third annual bow shoot. I
Yeah.
said in the intro
Yeah.
to have everyone that listens who wants to come to that let me know what time frame they're thinking. So once I have a good idea, I'll start sending stuff out.
There we go.
And we'll find a good time. But cool,
Yeah,
man. Well, it was a good season in some ways. Huh?
Hopefully, I'll have my lift by then and get it all set up.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I mean, there
Yeah,
may
I
be
got a
some,
buddy that's bought a lift eggs.
those are sick. There may be some changes coming. I'll tell you guys off the podcast. Thor already knows what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how things go. But anyway,
You lose?
yeah, dude. Season's over pretty much, and it's been a long one. I kind of get what Andy means now that they need to shorten it, but I'm glad they didn't. But anyway, I think we all learned a lot this year, and I really appreciate you guys coming on. We need to do
Oh, yeah.
separate episodes later in the year with both of y'all to see what's changed. And Christian, you and I obviously can get into the weeds with archery stuff. Thor, we could do the same thing and just talk shit on things that's happening in the community or
Oh, yeah.
in the industry.
Oh, yeah, dude.
it's-
I've had a lot of stuff change. Me and Caitlin just got our first place, all that stuff, man. So
Well, there you go. So we'll cover all that in the singular episodes. But
sounds good,
cool.
buddy.
Well, if you guys got anything going on you want to tell people listening about, go ahead and say it now or forever hold your peace. Nothing.
I don't have an
Hey,
outdoor channel.
hey.
I don't have an outdoor channel or anything. I mean, I post stuff on my Instagram, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's about it. I
Um,
couldn't even tell you what my Instagram is and tag it. I don't remember what it is. So I think it's like Christian Pruitt 99 or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
Thor, are you coming out with anything on YouTube?
I haven't dropped anything lately. I need to do something, but I just haven't had any fresh video content.
Have a video for you Saturday.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I think I'm gonna. Yeah, if I get to go with them Saturday, I think I'm gonna bring my GoPro and throw down some
You're
videos,
gonna
see
need
what I
to.
can do, and at least get a good. If I get one duck hunt I can post on there this year, I think that would help. So we'll see what we can do with that, and yeah, and hopefully I'm still may deer hunt tomorrow, so I'm hunting the extended archery season right now. So may still get a deer before it's over with.
Well, hopefully you do.
I thought about
Hopefully-
getting back in the blind or the saddle, but I don't know. It's still up. I can go get in it. I don't know when I have time.
Well, that's the thing is like we all have places we can go. It's just we've been going for 5.5 months now. It's kind of I'm burnt out. I feel burnt out. But
Yeah, I haven't gone since the opening weekend of duck season, and I'm burnt out.
yeah,
So-
it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. But anyway, well, good episode, boys. Thank you for coming on, and y'all have a good night.
All right, man.
Y'all be safe, fellas.